Okay, so far I've just got, it's about half a small onion, just cooked away a little bit just to make it start to go a little bit soft, probably about 4 or 5 minutes. And then I've got, in this little pot, I've got about 1/4 of a red onion chopped up, effectively half a clove of garlic, but I've been using garlic granules for a while now just because it's easier. I'm going to say about a teaspoon of mild chili powder, about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika, and that's going to go in now. That's going to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes again, just to soften the red pepper and to get those spices going. Now this is only the first of a few ingredients that I've brought out with me to make a chili con carne, which I'm going to serve in a tortilla wrap with some guacamole, sour cream, and grated cheddar cheese. It's going to be absolutely delicious. It's already smelling great. I can already smell the paprika, the chili, the cumin starting to heat up. And because this chili is going to cook for a long time, I don't even mind those gnarly bits on the base of the pan. It's all going to add lovely smoky flavour later. It's had it to about 4 or 5 minutes. Into there I've brought with me 125 grams of some lean minced beef. So we'll get that in and we'll brown off all of that mince. Into there goes a mixture. I mixed it all up at home just to keep it simple, but in here I've got just 1 small vegetable stock cube, 75 mils of water, 1/4 of a tin of chopped tomatoes, salt and pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And ultimately now I want to cook this with a lid on for about 20 minutes. So this has had about 20 minutes now. Everything will be deliciously cooked through. The sauce has already got lovely and thick. It's at this point now that I'm going in with 1/4 of a tin of red kidney beans, drained, rinsed, and these will get 10 minutes to also cook through in there. Now what it does say in the recipe that I was looking at, that I've been using, just a basic chili recipe, is it says that now it's got to this point, it's had the 10 minutes with the kidney beans in it, to just take it off the heat and let it sit for 10 minutes, which I think is a good idea anyway. Not just that it'll sort of deepen the flavours of the spices and the things that are going on in there, but it'll also mean that I'm not just putting red hot chili into my mouth, and I can also let the stove and everything have a bit of time to cool down so that I can start packing everything away. I've got a couple of tortilla wraps, just plain white tortilla wraps, so I'll probably just need 1 of them. I brought the second one just in case as I'm making this. If I ended up with more chili, I can make a second one. I've also got sour cream in a little pot, which I'm going to be able to use, and I've also got in this other pot some grated cheddar cheese and some just shop bought guacamole. Okay, let's put some bits with it. Bit of the sour cream, which will really help start to cool things down. We'll put some guacamole on it. Again, it will cool it. And some lovely cheddar cheese. Perfect. Let's get tucked into this. Ingredients. I've got with me a bag It's one of the silicone resealable, reusable bags. In there is 2 chicken breasts chopped up, sort of nice, smallish, bite-sized pieces, and 5 tablespoons of tandoori paste, tandoori spiced paste. It's been marinating in there probably for about 6 to 8 hours. In here, I've got curry gravy. So in there's a couple of onions, a couple of garlic cloves, a similar sort of size of chopped ginger. Then there was ground coriander, ground cumin, a teaspoon of each, maybe the same, a teaspoon of turmeric, a tiny bit of chili powder, I think. You'll see it in the description anyway, but basically cook that for about an hour, hand blended, so it's all blended, cooked, ready to go. The actual meal itself, once the chicken's done, the meal is pretty quick to put together. I've also got put that there. I've got a couple of 100 millilitres, half a tin of coconut milk. There's about a tablespoon of ground almonds and a tablespoon of, I've put dark brown sugar in. I don't know whether it should have been dark brown or light brown. I've got another pot. That pot has got in it whipping cream, double cream. I'm not sure how much. Some whipping cream. Another little pot in here. That's 1.5 tablespoons of tomato puree, 2 tablespoons of water, mixed together to make like a tomato passata style thing. We've got a spice mix. In here is 1 tablespoon of the tandoori paste. There is some salt, and there's 2 teaspoons of a curry spice mix that I made up. I followed instructions from the recipe that I'm using. And finally, I think, ish, I've got in this tub, it's some garlic and ginger paste. 1 garlic clove, same sort of size of ginger, and then it's about it's a drizzle of oil and some salt that I just mashed up in a small pestle and mortar that I've got. So I think that's it. Oh, I've got a lemon to potentially put some lemon juice on that in a bit. The other thing that I want to show you, also some oil, vegetable oil this time. The other thing I want to show you is what I'm going to be cooking it in. Now, because it's going to be fairly big, and I looked at sort of how many ingredients I've got already, I decided that I wouldn't be able to make this really for 2 people. This is a 2-person recipe, and it might end up being way too much. And I haven't got rice, I haven't got naans, I haven't got poppadoms or anything like that. This may be way, way, way too much food. We'll see at the end of the cook. But because I felt like it was going to be too big for the Trangia pans, what I brought out instead is my zebra billy can. Really cool bit of kit. It's going to be about a 16 or 18 centimetre, I think maybe 18 centimetre zebra billy can. It's fantastic. It's got its own lid. Inside it, we've also got this, which could be used as a small frying pan if I needed it, but I am actually going to use it to serve my curry in, which is going to be cool. And the zebra billy pan itself, which is really deep and fits inside my Trangia stove. So let's get cooking. I'm going to use the frying pan, which, thinking about it, yeah, it's only its 2nd or 3rd outing. It's already starting to take some hammer, but hey ho, it's going to take some hammer again. I'm going to fry off all the chicken in there. Right, well, that chicken's had about 15 minutes. If we had smell-o-vision, you would be very jealous of this right now. This already smells insanely good. But that's the chicken done for now. I'm just going to pop the lid. It'll go inside the pan. I'm not really bothered about that, but it's just going to keep it sort of safe and secure. I'll put that to one side. Onto the next phase of me cooking. So my zebra billy can, whilst this isn't specifically designed for the Trangia stove at all, it does nestle in there quite well, just like one of the other pans, but obviously this has a lot more depth to it, which is fantastic for cooking this particular dish. Right, all of the next lot happens pretty quick now. From the pan going on to me being able to serve this really shouldn't be more than 10 minutes now. Just 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. That will not take long for that to get warm at all. Next thing that goes in is my garlic and chili paste. In the recipe it says cook it until it stops sputtering. What I don't want it to do particularly is burn. Which I may have already done just a little. I even have put the simmering is on because I knew it would be a lot closer. Right. Next into the pan is going my spice mix, which is the two teaspoons of the dry Indian spice mix, the 1 tablespoon of tandoori paste. Again, we'll cook it fast. We don't want it to burn. I mean, the only thing is with this billy can, it is not designed to be on here. So it will wiggle about a bit. I'm not bothered about that. Next up is my tomatoey passatari type paste. And all the time we're building up the layers of flavour. Next up, the curry gravy. Now in here is, it was an American or a European recipe, so everything was in ounces. I've got in about 400, just over 400 grams of this curry gravy. I just want to put a quarter of it in for now. Get this mixed in, allow it to come to a boil, just so it's just bubbling away. It's almost like when you're making a roux, you just want to bit by bit get everything combined. Okay, then about another third of it. Now this recipe that I'm using, which you'll see in the description, it is supposed to be as close to like an Indian restaurant style, so it's not like, you know, I've seen lots of recipes before that make sort of Indian spiced things that are certain areas and certain parts of the world, but this is specifically, you know, the British takeaway version of what we know as a chicken tikka masala. It's basically how the British adopted the Indian spice, or ultimately, I guess it was, I don't know enough about it, but I guess it was how things were tamed down and tempered to the British taste. It's starting to sort of bubble away. We'll get the last of it in. Absolutely fantastic. So by now, in here has got the garlic and ginger, the spice mix, the tomato puree and a bit of water, and all of my curry gravy. Once this starts to just bubble into there, we're going to go with the chicken and the coconut milk, almond flour and sugar. It's quite cool having this handle. It helps steady it against the Trangia windbreak and stove, but it also means I can sort of use it as a bit of a handle when I need to, and I'll be able to lift it off in the end. Other good thing about having this big tall pan, for those of you that have seen some of my other cooking videos, I'm less likely to be chucking the stuff out of the pan. It's not impossible, but it's less likely. Now it's starting to sound like it's bubbling, but we've not got there just yet. There we go. Right. Sounds more promising. chicken. And actually all of the, I should lower that down a bit. All of the sauce and everything that's in there, I'm getting all of that in. Oh, interesting. It just sounds like it stopped simmering, which means it's out of fuel. So I best just quickly top it up. Only needs a little bit more fuel. Let me quickly get that sorted out. Put it back on. Let's get it going again. So the chicken's gone in. Oh my god, this looks amazing. It smells amazing. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. As well as the chicken going in there, it's time to also get in my 200 mils, 200 grams, half a can, however you want to say it, of coconut milk and almond flour and sugar. Get as much of that in as I can. This is going to give it that sort of lovely, glossy, creamy flavour and colour. And like I said, there's a tablespoon of sugar in here as well, so it's going to add cream, cool. It's going to be so good. So this now needs 5 minutes. Last thing that I've got to add is some double cream. So cream's gone in. And it even suggests a squeeze of lime juice. So I'm going to try something I saw on a video the other day about sticking a skewer in the end of the lemon. Oh god. And then you should, oh god, let's see if I can make this work. Yeah, it worked. It's alive. Right, we're nearly there. Give that a mix. It's time to serve it up and get eating. I cannot tell you how excited I am to eat this. The only thing I'm slightly disappointed about is that I haven't got a naan bread, a rice, some poppadoms, mango chutney, the full works. But the only thing I'd say is there's a bit too much liquid in here. So it maybe doesn't need, maybe it doesn't need the 400 grams of the sort of curry sauce, the gravy, the stock. Maybe about 300 grams of that might have done. Maybe a little bit less coconut milk. I don't know. Just it's a bit heavy on the sauce side, but I guess if you're eating that with naan bread and rice and everything else, beautiful. Right, let's try some of this chicken. Oh my lord. Holy moly. Now I've had chicken tikka masala in loads of curry houses all over the place. This is right up there. And an idiot cooked it on a camping stove. So that puts it right up at there at number 1 for me. Right, while that's bubbling away, let me tell you what I've been up to. So, this recipe is chorizo and tomato dish, which I'm going to have with some gnocchi, which I'll boil up later. Basically, I completely forgot to bring oil with me. Pretty typical of a walk that I've done, that I'm going to forget something. But yeah, I forgot some oil. But then I had a bit of a brainwave, because I'm using chorizo, which is quite a naturally fatty thing anyway. I thought I'd chuck that in first, get it cooking, let it release some of its natural fats, and then we can fry off the onions in there as well. So it was about 150 grams of chorizo, 1 onion chopped. They've just been frying off for about 10 minutes, I guess. And now I've just poured in a carton of passata. Well, this is 390 grams, and then a little splash of water. Oh, and you also saw me chop up and put in 1 garlic clove. So this now is going to cook away for about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. We'll see how patient I am. Okay, I'm not 100% sure how long this has been bubbling away for now. I'm going to say 15 minutes, but there's not loads of sort of extra sort of thin liquid knocking about. It's quite a nice thick sauce, like a really thick rich sauce. So I'm going to say that for now I'm happy with leaving that as it is. Oh, look at the big chunks of garlic in there as well. Yes, please. So yeah, it's already smelling amazing. So I'm going to stick this to one side and then get on with the next part of the journey, which is in another pan. And that water looks like it's starting to come together. Success all around. And just looking at the packaging for the gnocchi, it does say it's freezable, so that might be a solution. Stick it in the freezer, basically make them into mashed potato ice cubes, and then by the time you end up needing to cook them, they should be absolutely perfect. Right, let's get some of this gnocchi in. There we go, all drained, ready to pour in my sauce. I'm going to give that a good mix up. Absolutely amazing. Looks like I've got the quantities about right. So the whole bag is going to be needed for this recipe of gnocchi for the sauce. Right, let's get it eaten. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. That is so good. How have I not thought to do this before? Well, this is brilliant for out on a hike. Really filling, highly calorific. So, you know, when you've been out for a big walk, what a meal. Hello. Oh, I best tell you what I've been doing. A really simple dish. It's took hardly any time to throw together. I've already got one cheese toasty already made. The other one's on. They only need like 2-3 minutes on each side. Simple recipe, basically. Open up the panini, butter one side, some Marmite on the inside, bit of cheese. It's probably about, I don't know, 50 grams of cheese, something like that. The other slice, a bit of Marmite, the panini back on top together, butter the other side. So you've got a panini with cheese and Marmite inside, buttered on each side. Stick it in a frying pan, and you've seen here I've just grabbed a couple of rocks from by the side of the road, put them inside one of the Trangia pans to create a bit of weight that will increase the pressure as that cooks, and that's why when it cooks we get a delicious thin panini with the cheesy Marmite goodness inside. Absolutely delicious. So simple, super delicious. The other one's nearly done. I mean, it's proper tasty. This concoction that I've knocked up, it's in a nice little squeezy bottle that I can squeeze the sauce out of. It's about 2 parts ketchup to about 1 part of American style mustard. So it's ketchup, it's mustard. This hybrid that I've created I'm going to call custard. I'm going to let the sausages cook in that beer for about 6 minutes. So this idea of cooking the hot dogs in beer, I saw recently on a YouTube video Sam the Cooking Guy. I don't know if any of you are subscribed to Sam the Cooking Guy. He's got a brilliant channel. He's getting close to 3 million subscribers now. And yeah, I just thought I would cook up some normal onions. I've not overcooked them because I want a bit of a crunch. I've got my ketchup mustard inside the buns already. I've also brought with me just a whole load of pre-made crispy onions, so I've kind of got a double onion thing going on. And when the sausages are cooked, they'll go inside the hot dogs and then go inside my gob. Look at the view I've got, by the way. Right then, time to try this hot dog. Hot dog with cooked sort of caramelised onions kind of thing. My mustard, ketchup or custard hot dog cooked in a lovely sort of pale ale and some crispy onions. I don't know whether you can see from the video. It is now starting to rain, so I'm going to get this eaten. Wow, you can taste the beer through the sausage. That's unbelievable. The crispy onions, the soft, slightly crunchy normal onions, that fantastic sausage, beery sausage, in the bread bun with me custard. Oh, it's good. Oh yes. Right, I need to get this eaten and get myself on for the rest of the journey. That might be something I have to do again at some point, because there wasn't that much that I brought with me. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me. If you've not already yet done so, please do subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell notification so that as soon as a new video is launched, it'll tell you straight away, so you can have a watch of the video, or maybe you don't want to watch the video. It's up to you. Fantastic stuff, and I will see you in the next one.